you're a sad little man or something like that, right? I can't remember what you said.
Oh, you are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity. then you do this.
Long live the possible. Big 1 to 4. It's good to be in Singapore. This is the SG Draft Podcast. I'm your host, Media Leon. Welcome to another episode of the SG Draft Podcast presented by the Chit Podcast Network. Now, for those of you that are tuning in via YouTube or any sort of podcasting platform, hi again. Thank you so much for giving us a try, for giving us a listen. We're just a bunch of Singaporeans that love PIXAR. Speaking of people that love PIXAR, once again, I'm joined by my PIXAR crew. How's everyone doing? Everyone doing well?
Long day.
Long day, right? Yeah, brother. Tell me about it. Just before I was like, another call, all this lah. But how is everyone doing? Everyone doing well? You're excited for this draft?
Not really.
Yes.
Whoa. Stop. You don't like PIXAR movies, ah?
I don't like cartoon movies in general, except for the anime movies like Hayao Miyazaki kind. Yeah.
Even when you were a kid, man. Like when you grew up, you didn't watch like PIXAR
Oh,
movies.
I did. I enjoyed it until like a certain age. Then I just swear off like cartoons. So the only
definition
cartoon so far that has sort of changed my opinion was Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty. Yeah, because Rick and Morty is still adult themed based.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, there's still an element of adulthood lah. Yeah, the writers previously from Community, if I'm not wrong.
You don't watch like Family Guy or anything like that, man?
No leh. I'm very snobbish when it comes to movies. I see it's animation, then like 不要看 unless it's like Japanese made.
But to be honest, right, in terms of animation, not just PIXAR specifically, right, but there are a lot of like great animated movies there. Like, like DreamWorks, there's like a ton of them.
Yeah, but I think when I did my research for this draft, right, there was actually a few movies that I read the reviews and I read the summary of the movie. Is actually interesting enough for me to say I might want to watch this when I have time.
All the chit-chatter bros that we find a day, right? I put you in front of a TV, we'll do PIXAR movie marathon together.
Yeah, bro. Have to lah.
When you all play FIFA, I'm watching the PIXAR down there.
Watch you, bro.
I watch with you also.
But alright, let's talk about last week's episode, because this is the exact same crew that was on the draft for the DC characters draft. How do you guys feel about the results?
I'm so sad. Nobody likes villains anymore, man.
I think if Jin Yong, Eldad and I put our team together, we still lose to your team, man. No. If we combine like all-star team against you, I think
but I must say this lah. Like, my team is very unorthodox because it pursues a lot of villains. So not everybody likes the villain.
I didn't expect him to win, but I thought he would get a higher percentage of votes because he picked one of the best villains of all time. Yeah, so I didn't understand why like he only got like I don't know how many percent.
But
what you say is true lah. It's the like general public, they see bad guy, they like, I don't want
too many bad guys. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like just a bit. Yeah.
Maybe if he took Harley Quinn over Wonder Woman, then maybe he got chance. Right? Then they like let's go for the bad side. Yeah, Suicide Squad.
But in terms of like recapping that draft, right? If Paul had gotten a chance to get Superman and Wonder Woman together, right? I think the draft would have flipped like quite a lot.
It'd be slightly closer.
Yeah. The only reason that Wonder Woman dropped so far is because Jin Yong didn't take like Wonder Woman and Flash together in the
like the Flash and Wonder Woman.
But I think Jin Yong after a while he was like whatever lah. Then he just picked all the.
No, because honestly, if let's say Paul had taken Wonder Woman, right, I probably would have taken another villain.
No, because you went down, right? Then if after you took Joker, then Jin Yong take Flash and Wonder Woman, then you are next, ma.
I would probably taken Lex Luthor, or down the line I probably would have taken Scarecrow. It's very hard for me to pick Harley Quinn because she wouldn't be in the 5 that I think they're higher than her.
If let's say you didn't take it, right, Paul, you would have taken Harley Quinn, right?
But that'd be like Superman and Harley Quinn, then a bit.
yeah, exactly. So but I might have gotten
That's why
Harley
the Flash
Quinn.
I think not bad.
The Superman Flash combo is not too bad lah. I think it's one of the funniest drafts you ever did. I really did them a lot of. I could have done at least another 3 clips, no? Like, because we didn't do the Joker, we didn't do like the in-depth conversation stuff, like. And I put all the funny clips inside as the short clips, Yeah, it was really very fun.
I think I run my mouth a bit too much sometimes.
Yeah. I think it was your like what's that Picasso episode for the amount of like the one-liners that like hit really.
It's like how GY had his car episode.
All right.
Sounds good.
Let's transition over to this week's episode, which is the PIXAR Movies Draft. And the reason why we're doing the PIXAR Movies Draft is because this week, the movie Elemental is coming out, a PIXAR feature. And to be honest, we were thinking about doing a fan-voted draft this week. But at the same time, a Pixar movie, it honestly releases like maybe once every like 2-3 years. Yeah.
So once every like holiday, that kind, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you have to wait one like long cycle. Then I was like, Paul brought it up. And I was like, let's just do
Bro, I think it came out last week.
Yeah, it came out last week.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, right, it came out last week with zero like hype or fanfare, no? Like,
do you know, right? I was just looking at the news, right? Apparently, it's the worst grossing Pixar movie ever for the opening week. For the opening weekend.
Yeah, I think also there's too many movies out now. There's Transformers, there's the Spider-Man, and there's Flash. Yeah, I think it got buried. I think bad timing. You know what I mean?
Or maybe the world not enough kids. Really, aging population. Yeah,
aging population. Are you going to be contributing to that to change the demographic?
Hey, no. Yesterday was Father's Day. Please do not bring me into this conversation.
Okay, but for this week's draft, we're going to be doing a Pixar draft, movies draft. I think if you guys got a question or queries, to be honest, I think it's quite straightforward. Yeah, the only thing that I think is maybe a bit dicey is that there are some that are Pixar movies that did not release in cinemas. You know what I mean? Like some of them was released specifically on Disney Plus itself. Yeah, but I still think they count as Disney, as in like Pixar movies lah.
Yeah.
All agree? I think they are film.
As long as it's a film, right? As a film or movie, that kind. Not those short clips, right? Like, you know, before the movie start, that one.
Yeah, what? No, don't pick that one. Or the lava.
I lava you.
My favorite one, right, is the one where this person is throwing the paper out of the window. You see that one?
Yes, it's like a comic, right? Like a comic. Yeah.
Yeah, trying to get to that girl that he can't get. But I was like, wow, it's such a well thought out shot. All right. Besides that, you guys, any questions or queries you want to go and clarify first? Or if not, I think it's quite straightforward, right? I can just dive into the draft and spin the wheel. By default, I have to use the spin the wheel thing because it's 4 in a row. But I will be just using one. So just use one. Then
I like my chances again.
I was just gonna say, right, this draft I think that is very open-ended lah. You know what I mean? Like, because everyone has a different favorite Pixar movie and stuff like that. All right, let's go right into the spin. Ooh, it's me. I'm sorry.
Kilong.
All right. I thought about this the whole day, right? I would like to pick number 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Not number 1.
Okay. But I will not say it. Let's
Okay. Next up is
is
Jin Yong.
Oh, Jin Yong. I thought I saw Eldet.
Jin Yong.
Let me go number 4 then.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Okay. Interesting.
He's like the designated number 4 now. Jin Yong.
What period is he number 1? The first
Correct.
All right. It's Eldet. What position you like? 1 or 3?
3.
All right.
Oh, this is unprecedented.
Okay.
All right.
The person with the last pick got to go number 1.
For the Pixar movie draft, it will be Paul, then myself, then Eldet, and then Jin Yong. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get right into the draft. All right. With the first official pick in the Pixar movies draft, Mr. Paul E. What movie?
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for the number 1. Okay, I will pick this even though I will suffer in the end for the next 7 picks. I am going to take Toy Story.
Nice.
All right.
No, Toy Story 2.
Oh, okay. Toy Story 2. Okay.
Yeah, either way, I feel that it's the first like 1 or 2 picks. Either way, yeah.
So it's number 2, right?
Yeah, number 2, bro.
Yes,
I resonate a lot with number 2. I find, in terms of like growing up, right? Last time you only watch it on like SCV. Like, but then I had the Toy Story 2 like complete like VCD edition. Yeah.
We also had.
Yeah, I think you also had. It's like it came in the metal box.
We had a Laserdisc and the VCD.
Yeah, we had both Laserdisc and the VCD.
And then last time, me and John, right, I had Woody, he had Buzz, like the toy, the actual toy.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like actually really damn cool. Yeah. And then I will never forget like Toy Story 2, right, the scenes where like he starts riding the dog to the yard sale.
Yeah, faster.
Then I was like, hey, maybe next time I would see, like when I go to my friend's house, I look at their dog, whether got any toy like hiding behind the dog.
Giddy up.
Yeah. But they show got a lot of like iconic scenes, like the when
a lot,
somebody loves.
Bro, that I was gonna say, right, that scene, that song, I said the Sarah McLachlan song, right, is the first time I cry in a movie, ever.
Oh my, yeah.
I think it teaches you the idea of a very realistic take on how like
people grow up.
To be honest, people grow up and then times change and then like relationships over like the course of your life always.
The Jesse cut, right?
Yeah, correct. The Jesse scene.
Jesse's owner, yeah.
And I was going to say, right, for that movie itself, they introduced a lot of the like memorable characters. I mean, like the first one, there are like many good characters, but the second one, right, is like you have Jesse, you got Bullseye, you got the very good villain in the Stinky Pete. Then also you have like Emperor Zurg. Yeah, I am your father. Yeah, and I think they used the how to say they make both characters flesh out the story well. It's like because like Buzz, he has his own storyline. He has to go and save Woody, but at the same time, Woody is like he has to figure out like, hey, do I want to like
his dilemma of whether he want to go with them or stay with the toy shop. Yeah,
and I think when they dive into the history of the Woody character, and then like the Woodies run out, it was very like well done. Like they talk about how like the over time they just lost because Buzz Lightyear, the Sputnik, all this came out, then all the toys started to get lost and stuff.
Yeah,
like that,
man, it's like so relatable, right? And then like
very
they did a lot of references from the first movie where like they just mentioned them in the first movie, right? But then in the second movie they actually introduced all the characters. Yeah, I will not say the first one, but the second one got the El's toy barn, remember?
Yeah, El's toy barn.
Yeah, but in the first show there was like the advertisement. Then
correct.
It's actually super cool. Yeah,
and I also think one great thing about that movie, right? The scene that I really really love. If you're someone that loves like if you have like what's that thing? OCD or whatever, right? It's the scene where
the cleaning, right? The Woody cleaning
when he fixed Woody up, right?
I love that scene.
Yeah, the eye, the glass,
the eye polish.
The eye polish. But then you still love it, man. That scene, really very.
No, but
very aesthetically pleasing scene.
No, aesthetically pleasing. But the thing is, for animation at that time period, right, to have it so clean and have the reflection, everything so nicely done, it was actually like wow.
That movie still looks good now. So if you pop it in, right, even though it's like maybe 20 years ago, it's been 20 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Like that seems
more than that, I think.
Yeah, and of course, like, this is I would say there are only a few movies on Rotten Tomatoes, the history of their website, right, that has 100%, and Toy Story 2 is like one of the few lah. You know what I mean? Considered by many as a perfect animated movie. Great pick. All right. With the first official pick, that was Toy Story 2. Okay, it's my turn. Even though I feel that Toy Story 2 is I prefer it more than 1, I do think that Toy Story 1 is just equally as iconic as a film.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that for something that groundbreaking to come out and have such a like, you know what I mean? For it to be Pixar's first film, I think I have to take it first. Second overall, So I'm gonna take Toy Story as my pick, and I think it introduced us to the world of like the idea that
toys can be alive.
Toys can be alive, and then it introduced us to like Woody and Buzz, and then I think the best part of it was like really getting to see the humanity side of both characters.
Yeah.
The idea that one is jealous, and then also like Buzz, how he's slowly realizing that
he was a delusional space ranger. Yeah.
I'm not a space ranger. No. This can't be true.
Can be. You are a toy. You can fly.
You are a toy. You are a child's play.
You are an action. You are just an action figure. You are a child's
plaything.
You're a sad little man or something like that, right? I can't remember what you said.
Or you are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity. Then you do this. Wow.
Yeah. And I also want to say, right, like, in terms of, yes, one that Toy Story 1, the animations, all this is great. But I want to say for them to pick the voice actors that they did, right, for those characters, right, just great, like, selections. Like, they go and pick, like, Tom Hanks as Woody and, what's the other actor? Tim Allen, right, as,
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen as Buzz. There are other films that have other people's voices, but I still feel that it's the two of them they did the best lah. I think it has to be iconic. And that movie also made me scared of like the villain. Like the first time I was really scared of any Sid. And I was like, what a dick this kid. In terms of also Rotten Tomatoes, it is also the other movie that I think there's only like 3 or 4. Yeah, that has 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes lah. I know that it's personal preference. A lot of people prefer 1 or 2, but I think that for Pixar draft, right, it has to be like 1 or 2 lah.
1 and 2, I think
it has to be. And how the order flips of either which one you prefer, right? It has to be this 1 or 2 lah. Okay, next up, Mr. Alec, what are you gonna take?
I will round off the trilogy. I will pick Toy Story 3.
All right, this is a good pick. All right, this is a good.
No, because honestly, right, like this is the first movie that I felt that I was really looking forward to that came out of Pixar, because when Toy Story 2 ended, right, you didn't expect to have a third movie coming out. Like, totally no.
Yes, bro.
And then
and a lot of people didn't want it to come out because it didn't want to ruin the first two movies.
Correct. Yeah. So the thing is that there was a lot of pressure on Toy Story 3 to do the first two justice. And I find that this movie actually did a lot of justice, right? But it told a unique story in a sense where they always focus on Woody's relationship with Andy when they were younger. But then you can also see that when they go to 3, right, it was a shift of relationship. It's like Andy's relationship with Woody changed.
Yeah.
Also changed. So now it was about focus more on the toys journey to a new owner, to a new location, and something new, right, an adventure, right, rather than just focusing on, I need to get back to Andy, or I need to get back to something like that. And yes, they have an amazing villain.
Lotso Hagen Bear.
Yeah, Lotso.
Oh my goodness. But he's such a good, in this movie, he's such a good, I find that this movie, right, was the one that they really did the villain arc really good justice.
Yeah, he was a great villain, bro.
He was a great villain.
Yeah.
Great villain.
Yeah. And I also was going to say that in terms of this movie, they made it really believable, right, that that the toys might not survive. Especially towards the end.
Man, bro, the furnace, the part where they were in the furnace. Oh my.
Yeah.
I cried.
This movie, this movie, right, it almost made me cry twice. It was that scene and the scene where Andy gave them away to the
then he drive off. Yeah,
he drive off, right? And then especially you can feel the hurt of him, like he don't want to let the Woody go. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. And then also we did this Pixar theory thing, right, where we assumed that this Woody was given to him by his like dead father or like or whatever lah. But in terms of that scene, really iconic, man. The great. Then especially when he recaps all of the toys that he played with, and then he gives them over, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
So hard.
Especially the start. Remember the start of Toy Story 3? It's actually the start of Toy Story 1 where the evil potato head is he go and rob the bank, right?
Yeah.
Then he gets away with the minions, with the 3 aliens. So they recreated that fight scene in Toy Story 3.
Yeah, man.
The Dr. Evil pork chop.
in its full glory, like the whole animation.
Yeah, man.
And the best part of Toy Story 3 is like when we were Toy Story 2, we were just like primary school kids.
Yes.
Then when we watched Toy Story 3, we were like really full grown adults already.
Yeah, we all grew up like Andy. So it's like in that moment he gave him away, it's like we all as adults understand like how difficult it is to grow up. Do you know what I mean? And then let go of your childhood. So
because like the last time we watched Toy Story 2, we were like kids,
I feel like probably this might be my favorite Toy Story of the 3.
Yeah. As in, I also cannot fault you for.
It's a personal thing.
It's also like considered a great movie. Yeah.
Because I find that it's a different type of emotional attachment compared to the first two.
Yes, I feel
the first
that
two is like we are heavily invested. That kind.
Yeah, the first two is more like your childhood memory of it, and then the Toy Story 3, right, is the adult. Like it speaks to you as an adult because we grew up watching the whole trilogy. Yeah, bro, it's a great pick. All right, and in terms of the Rotten Tomatoes score, it didn't get 100, but it got very, very close. It got 98%, which is like
solid. Good enough.
How many movies get the 98%? I think it's like barely 100.
Yeah, what kind of trilogy get like 100, 198, right? That kind.
Yeah, bro, exactly, exactly, bro. Yeah, but I think good. Yeah, but now it's not considered a. Okay,
no, we'll not say anything.
Yeah. All right. Toy Story 3, good pick. All right. Next up is Mr. Jin Yong. Jin Yong, what are you going to take?
I'm going to not pick the fourth quadruple. Okay, so like I said at the start of the draft, I haven't really watched a lot of cartoons, but I'm just going to pick based on some of the plots that I read and based on how interesting I find them. So immediately this story captured me because the main characters in this movie is actually not humans.
Okay.
But I think they actually talk about a lot of themes and a lot of a lot of things that we as humans aspire for, but they do it in the form of robots. I'm going to pick Wall-E.
Oh, interesting.
You're gonna pick Paul E.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
Get out of here, bro.
Get out of here.
Out.
The Punisher is here.
The Punisher is here. What a solid show.
Man. But Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a very, very good movie. Yeah, because you like the synopsis and the plot of this.
Yeah, I like the synopsis. I like I watched the trailer. I like how they sort of like the pursuit for, how do you say, because they strip everything bare from this character. Then it's like, what does he have to live for? Then when he finally found something to live for, right, you can see him like doing everything to so-called go for this goal. And then I think something very touching about it.
They just attach this one character that it has been doing this like cleaning up the earth for so long.
Cleaning up, yeah.
And then you just like, and then you can't help but feel like, I understand why he wants some sort of like companionship or like humanity. Because as you clean up the earth, right, you will like start to pick up stuff like, people are in relationships, people are in love, people had friends and stuff like that. Then when you see him go through the struggle of like being lonely, and then when he finally comes across someone that is like, oh my god, and there's a chance for me to go and be in a relationship or like,
was it?
Eva.
There was a part he picked up the bra, right?
And in terms of like the movie itself, there's not a lot of dialogue. So it's like just the animation has to carry the film. So it's like a lot of how to say like set designs, and then after that it's like they have to do action based or physical based sort of like drawings or animation.
And the sounds from the robot sounds all this
which is not easy to do. And then you have to understand how they communicate without any sort of like dialogue. In terms of the Rotten Tomatoes score, not 98, not 100, but I mean still 95% is like
95, still A1,
yeah, still A1, man. It's a
still
freaking good
A1,
score.
brother,
Yeah, like how many movies got I bet like all the Oscar winning movies for Best Picture, right? I would say maybe like 80% of them don't have a 95 for Best Picture, I would guess. Yeah. Wall-E, good pick.
It's hard to get it 90, man.
Yeah. Directed by Andrew Stanton, who has directed other Pixar movies. Good pick.
Ooh.
All right. Your next pick, Xing.
Okay, my next pick, I'm drawn towards the world that this movie is about. Because it's talking about the living sort of going into the world of the dead to find out, like, to find out, what is my ancestry about? What's this culture about? And then I think it's very tastefully done. I'm going to pick Coco.
It is a great movie. Honestly,
Yes,
it is a great movie.
Yeah.
It may not be
The show was
for
on
a
my
lot of
list,
people, right? Yeah, for a lot of people, right, they might not say like, oh, this is the first thing that they think of a Pixar movie,
Correct.
right? But no one will say it's a bad movie ever.
Yes, I 100% agree.
Yeah, ever. It's a great movie. Yeah.
In fact, for me, right, these two movies, Wall-E and Coco, right, are the only movies that after I read the plot, right, I have a genuine interest in sort of trying to watch them. Yeah, because I think Coco, right, the how to say the plot and the text of it, the subtext of it, about like and it's linked to reality where Mexico does have a festival of death. I think it's something very interesting that like, I would like to see how the movie sort of fleshes out.
Like the music is great in that movie. Like all of the songs, and then there's a lot of like
Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah, Gabriel Iglesias. Okay. Then also there's a lot of like musical acts in throughout the whole film, right? So they animate like the guitar stuff or the like the drum stuff or the band stuff, right? I play guitar since like for like 10 years, right? It's very, very realistic. Like every single sort of like touch or line or slide, guitar slide and stuff like that.
Cool,
I think there's also a scene, right, in that movie, right, that is like legit will make you cry. Like the remember me. I'm like, do I have to say goodbye? In terms of the Rotten Tomatoes score, not 100, not a 98, not a 95, but a 97. Which is still
97.
still a 6 score. 97.
Averaging the score quite well.
Yeah. So far it's 97, 95, 96. 96 average. All right. Eldad, you're up next. What are you going to take?
Ready? I mean, come on. Now it's tough, right? Because you got so many.
It's a very, very tough position. Yeah.
Because you got so many things to choose.
No, because there's so many different options, right? But I'm trying to think whether I should go with like
popularity or
or should I just go with the one that I feel the movie I like. So this one will basically hinge on what media picks next.
But you pick first one. So that's okay.
You will choose yours, bro.
So this one, okay. I made my decision. I'm gonna pick a movie, right, that I feel like is probably my favorite one outside of the Toy Story. I'm gonna pick Monsters Inc.
interesting.
Nice one.
Wow.
that is a good. It's a good pick, but
Yeah. Sorry, Paul. Can you read off the number again for that movie?
2317, right?
No, 2319.
2319. Oh,
We got a 2319. We got a 2319.
2319.
Yeah.
No,
Great
but
movie.
I find that it's because it's a very interesting take, right, on what people deem as monsters under your bed. Yeah, then it's very different because it's the first time I feel like in really like when they were doing the first movies, right, it was the one that brought you into a totally different world.
Yes, it's world building.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
legit
world building. It's world building
world,
because let's say for example, like if you're talking Toy Story, right? Toy Story is within this particular context or room or location, but then like Monsters Inc. is a totally different world behind the door, and I feel like they have one of the better villains in Pixar movies.
Randall.
Randall.
Not just Randall, the upper
octopus
boss
man.
also, like
Yeah.
the octopus. Yeah. And I was gonna say also like for that movie, it's one of the best duos ever, like in cinema history. Yeah,
Mike
with, Mike
Wazowski.
Yeah, and Sally. Yeah, and I think also like the idea of how they built the world of monsters, right? Why they need to scare kids. Because they
Yes.
need to
Yeah.
power their
The city. Yeah, correct.
It's basically like it's basically the thing that runs the entire economy.
for the Rotten Tomatoes score, once again a high 96% for the Monsters
Damn.
Inc. Great pick. Yeah, great pick.
Everyone's faring
Alright.
quite well.
Yeah, everyone's faring quite well. Okay, I'm up next, right? And I was not expecting to get either of these two movies, so I'm really very stuck.
No!
Like, I really don't know which one I want to take, and I'm weighing in my head, right? Because I can sort of gauge like what Paul will take the next two. so I'm thinking like, do I want to like
Risk it.
risk it? Do I feel that okay, I will pick the pick that I feel caters more to adults. Okay. And it is I feel that everyone wants a sequel to this movie, and it really speaks about personal emotions. Okay.
Ah.
Yeah. I'm gonna take Inside Out.
Inside Out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey,
That's a damn good show, man.
It's a damn good movie. Yeah.
I
and,
love that movie.
The idea,
I really love that movie.
whoever came up with this idea is like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a genius idea, leh. And it's like the idea of there are things inside your body that are like really like literally controlling you as a thing.
There are different kind of emotions. Then
Yeah,
the color that represents them as well.
You know Leonard's son Asher, like our nephew, right? Like one time we went to like Raffles Town Club to watch like one show. Then it was supposed to be Paw Patrol, but Inside Out was showing. So it was like his first time in the theater. He was super excited. Like then that time he's like very small. He's like 4-5 years old, right?
Yeah.
And then he was like watching the movie, right? Then the thing is that he understood the whole context of the movie.
Yes, correct.
So the thing is that for a young kid to be able to understand the whole context of the movie and he can relate to the emotions of the thing, is really, that it's a very well done movie, right? Because both kids and adults can relate to that particular movie and can relate to the emotions. Just that the only difference is that we see it differently.
Or may not be that they see it differently, It's just that they see it in a more basic way, but
Yeah,
it
like,
can still
If
be
the
on
blue
the
person
same
take
level.
control, yeah.
Yeah, correct. How emotions can take control of your body. And I think one thing very interesting, right, if you watch that movie again, is that the main character, Riley, correct? She's
Riley.
run by Joy, correct? Her panel, the leader is Joy.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, but if you see the father, right, the leader is the red one, which means
Anger.
that
The angry man.
yeah, he's led by maybe angry emotions. Do you think perhaps? And then for the mother, I think it was the cloud, right?
blue one.
color. Yeah, blue
The
color.
mother was sadness.
Yeah, so it's like, you know what I mean? It's very complex, detailed things, small things that you might not notice, and then you watch it again, you're like, wow, like how in depth. And I think also the idea of the core memories in that movie, right, is like, wow, like damn clever. You know what I mean? Because it's true, you have core memories that throughout your life, right,
You will
will
never,
like,
yeah.
Yeah,
You'll never
and it's
forget
like-
them.
yeah, and the core memory can be good or bad, and it can shape you for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? But to explain it in such simplistic terms for children, right, it's just like, wow. Like, and I also think like they have one of the best sort of cameo characters, like Bing Bong. He just appears for like 30 minutes, like owns the movie, then leaves. Like, oh, why did he go? Yeah.
But it's apparently it's a character that she came out in her imagination, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like, Bing Bong.
And I also was reading up, right, that they were saying that it could possibly be that in different phases of your life, right, different emotions lead. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like maybe the father at this stage was, or maybe Riley at this stage it was joy. Because she moved, right, then sadness start to take over. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so it's very well done, complex movie. And I think also like all of the voice actors for that movie is great. Like Amy Poehler. Yeah, I was going to say the Rotten Tomatoes score, right? It's not, 90? It was not 100, but it was 98%. Yeah, 98%.
Bro, expected.
Coming soon to a theater near you in 2024. Inside Out 2.
Ooh, exactly.
Riley grows up.
Exactly 1 year from should be rumored to be exactly 1 year from. Yeah,
all right, correct. Inside Out is off the board. Okay, next up, Paul. You got back to back. What are you gonna take? Please leave.
Brother of Wall-E. Come on.
I have like 3 that I want to pick now, but then I can only pick 2.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm praying that one of them come back to me.
I know one will go back to you, but I will take this one first. Just because it resonates a lot with me as well, and it came out during the time where like Toy Story 2 came out also, Monsters Inc. that period, and it's gonna be Finding Nemo.
Okay. Good pick, brother. Good pick.
Bro, this scene, this show is also another show that have so many scenes that I until now I will still like say some lines from that show.
I know which one is your favorite. Lah. It's like fish are friend, not food.
No, not mine. Not that. It's the you know there's the annoying seagull. The mine.
Can you name the address of
P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Sydney?
Okay. No, yeah.
And that show also, like when you were a kid, right, makes you learn about certain things. They include a lot of fun facts, like if you go down in the deep part of the ocean, you find an anglerfish.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, like where nobody knows like what the anglerfish was last time.
Yeah, or how like jellyfish they are dangerous, even though they look.
But you
nice.
can touch you can boing on them. Yeah, and then the whale and the
coral reefs.
Coral reefs. Yeah, correct. Exactly. Yeah.
Then the turtle.
Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah, good movie. And I also think
one thing they thought wrong lah. They say the shark is actually very friendly.
But the part where he smelled the blood, right? His eyes change, you know. It's like a life lesson.
No, I tell you right, the shark right in that movie, even though he's only there for like maybe like about 10 to 15
names, Bruce.
The thing, right? Bruce is super funny.
He's damn funny, bro.
It's super funny.
Not food.
I'm having fish tonight.
Not food.
Was he vegetarian?
Yeah, something I can't remember.
Yeah, some sort of a vegetarian.
Sorry,
can you imagine, right?
Giant ass great white sharks.
Giant ass great white shark is a vegetarian. Can you imagine like the contradiction?
It looks like a megalodon, right? That size, you know. Like,
megalodon.
Yeah, chunky great white shark. Yeah, and also like in that movie they split off both stories well. So it's like when you're in the ocean with Dory and Marlin, right? You're like, oh, this is like cool because you get to see them on an adventure. But then you go to the fish tank, it's also like a fun adventure because they're trying to get their way out of the fish tank. And then the fish tank characters, they're more like memorable, like
Gil, the starfish.
Yeah, the starfish.
Then they're clean freak. Right?
Yeah, the clean freak, the pufferfish.
Curse you, Aquas.
Is it because I always found that like they. Like one thing Pixar does well, they always balance seriousness with comic relief. So when you do the story switch, right, it's like basically like the fish tank is the comic relief, then the serious part is the Marlin and Dory.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
bro, the beginning of the show broke me, bro.
Yeah, they're really very hard. Yeah.
The show haven't even started yet, right? They make you watch that scene, the Nemo egg, right? Wow, bro.
Pain, brother. Pain. Really damn pain. Yeah.
He like the Marlin gets concussed, right?
Yeah, concussed.
Then gets eaten by the what's that swordfish?
Yeah, swordfish.
No, barracuda.
Yeah, barracuda. Yeah.
Barracuda.
Yeah.
And then they portrayed how when he picked up the egg, right? The egg there's a crack on the egg. That's why his fin was like
his fin is small.
Form, yeah.
Yeah, and now that if you see those fish right in the aquarium, right, you're like, oh, that's a Nemo, or that's a Dory. Yeah, like you know what I mean? Always these two. Yeah, exactly. Great pick. Not 100%, but very, very close.
Like a 98 or 99.
Yeah, 99%. Man. Yeah, great movie. Finding Nemo. All right, Paul, your next pick, what are you going to take?
Okay, bro, this one, next one, if I don't take this, right, I don't know. There's two that I think if I take one, you take the other one.
No, I confirm will take the other one. Yeah, it's one or the other. I really want one or the other. So it's like you pick both. Yeah. But I think there's one that I want more. Yeah, so you pick first.
I know. I think I know what you want. I think I know you long enough. Okay, but I will.
No, just take what you like. It doesn't matter.
I would like. I like this show a lot, and it's The Incredibles.
A great movie. Great movie.
Behold, the Underminer.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Superhero stuff.
Superhero film.
If you were to do a
syndrome.
superhero draft, like superhero movies draft, right? But The Incredibles, in terms of just being a superhero movie, right? It can rank up there with all of the other, like what Marvel, DC, movies.
Spider-Man, all this shit.
Yeah, because they can't world build to this extent and then like create such like memorable characters and stories. Like, yeah, great movie.
Bro, the funniest character is the Frozone.
Yeah, Frozen.
Where's my super?
My evening's in danger.
Is that Samuel L. Jackson? It was, right?
It's Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson, yeah.
It's Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson.
The part where they go bowling, they were supposed to go bowling, right? Then they go and do like vigilante work.
Yeah, they go bowling. Yeah.
Then they save the people from the fire. Then they landed in the jewelry shop. Then they look like burglars, right? Yeah.
No, but honestly, right, I find like it's still the most iconic character is still Edna Mode.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Edna Mode. Like every time is when you see a auntie with like the rectangular sunglasses.
or the bangs, the hair.
And the bangs, right? And the bangs, right? You just see, that's Edna Mode.
Yeah. No kids. That movie is damn great. Yeah, and I also think like all of the family itself is very well done. Like how they mix all of their different powers. Yeah.
Violet.
Dash. Yeah. And then
Jack.
and I also think right, great villain, the Syndrome. Like
Syndrome.
Yes. Yeah. Woo! Great villain. Great
But
villain.
super annoying. No, it's really villain. Because and the thing is that the way they did it, right, was that when you found out what actually made him take as a villain, right? It was like, oh my goodness, it's so simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
And
bomb voyage.
Bon Voyage.
Bomb voyage, yeah.
The Incredibles on Rotten Tomatoes, it has
97.
97%. Yeah, there's still now no movie has been below 95%, which is like still awesome. Okay,
All right, bro.
I'm up next.
Take it.
Yeah, so I was gonna say that like the next three right that I had in mind was Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, and this movie. And this movie, the more I grew up and the more that I sort of love to cook, right? It's like the more and more you realize how great this movie is. I'm taking Ratatouille.
Yeah, bro. I was torn between Incredibles and this.
Yes, bro. It's really very hard.
Super torn, yeah.
The weight of it, right? I was like, I cannot decide for the. Yeah. So it's like in the same way also last week, right? It's like you sort of made it easier for me. Like it's like I pick either or. I don't mind.
Just take the one that's the remaining one. Yes, correct.
Yes. But I was going to say, right, that movie, if you listen to a lot of chefs, where they always, like there are certain movies that were like, this is unrealistic. Like a kitchen will never run like this. Or like it doesn't explain how a kitchen works. Yeah. A lot of chefs, right, they will say that this movie is the most accurate version, right, of how a proper French kitchen operates. Like, which is like insane,
The way he diced and cut the onions and all everything. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and then they teach you it's like, this is the sous chef station, this is the soup station, this is the sauce station, and then after that they go through like, okay, like this is how the thing operates. Most people they start here, then this become the junior sous chef, then they and then like all of the cooking scenes, right, like so well animated and so well done, and then I think it's very very cool that they pick a rat to be the the protagonist of the whole film. Yeah, it's great. I love that movie. I love it. I really, and I think it's for me, right, personally, it's the movie that I can rewatch the most out of the other movies.
Yeah,
it's
because
like
of
most,
the scene.
Yeah, enjoyable, simple, and then like not so right. A lot of people now on TikTok, right, they link back the ending scene, right, to this movie. It's like a lot of time when they eat a childhood thing, then they'll go back to the
guy
go back to his childhood as a kid, they eat the ratatouille, all this. Yeah. Jiong, sorry, what did you say?
It makes you interested in want to try ratatouille, the actual dish,
Yes, correct. Exactly. Yeah. And okay, in terms of the Rotten Tomatoes also, It's still above 95. It's 96. 96%. Yeah, great movie.
Solid,
and
bro,
also,
solid.
Yeah. And I also think the villain is a great villain. The short little dude with the I got your dog. You can take the thing. I got your dog. Yeah. All right. Eldet, you're up next. What are you gonna take? It's really stuck.
Next up is Up.
Oh
No!
Good pick.
No!
that is a damn good show. So.
No!
Another show that I
Why
cried
would
at the
you do
beginning.
that? No.
Yes.
Okay, honestly, right, like
Running out of picks.
honestly, right, like
Enough for me
no,
to pick it.
I'll be really honest, right, like my favorite sequence of the entire movie, right, that makes me remember is that entire starting sequence.
Okay, honestly, right, if you'd ask me personally, do I like Up as much as the other movies? I don't. Because I was going to say, the first 10 minutes, right, is like great 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like really, this is, you go through someone's life in just 10 minutes and it really breaks your heart lah in the first 10 minutes. But I don't really enjoy the next, like the other end of when when he makes it to the what falls or that.
Niagara Falls.
Yeah, I personally don't enjoy it as much as other movies, but it's just because I feel that first 10 minutes, right, is so iconic and so great. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you have to pick it next. You know what I mean? I don't fault you for picking
Mr.
it.
Carl Fredrickson.
Because really to be honest, right, like I find that like other than like Dark, right, which is there for comic relief, right, and the kid and then the balloons and everything going up, right, I think everybody that watches Up, right, is always you remember that first starting sequence.
I was
He got the glasses already, bro.
sad that Eldet picked that.
He's wearing the
You got the glasses, what? You using the glasses and the head shape,
The uncle,
Because-
Mr. Carl Fredrickson.
I prepared this long story about how this was very accurate about seniors, and because my first job was visiting seniors, and I wanted to talk about the intergenerational thing between, how youngsters can change seniors' life when, their own son and daughters couldn't, but Eldet picked it already.
So you're not going to bother talking about
I'm not gonna bother
how
you,
serious you can change lives and stuff like that.
There's
I love
no
it.
Up to, right?
No.
I don't think he's
I
alive
find that-
anymore.
Then down, they come down.
Down. Be elevator up and down.
No, I find that it's one of those movies, right, that is good as it is really. You just don't add anything
Yeah.
more to it.
Also, on Rotten Tomatoes, very high score. It has a score of 98%. Great. Yeah. Very high score. I think good value for a third round pick lah. All right.
Yeah.
Ziyong, you got back to back. What are you going to take?
Wow, damn sad, yeah. Eldet took my pick.
Bro, now you know how I
I
feel
guess-
already.
I'm going to pick this film because this film is on Disney Plus, so I managed to watch a bit of it.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, and it's actually surprisingly quite well done in the sense that it fleshed out a lot of this cultural, cultural dynamics and how these different cultures between different generations can so-called, I don't know what's the English word for it. They conflict in this space. I'm picking Turning Red.
Yeah, that's a good movie, bro. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
very underrated movie.
Underrated movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Paul,
so-
was that the movie you're thinking about?
Ish. No, I thought he was taking another one, but it was also on Disney Plus.
What a fake, a fake response there.
Is it the one that I think I know which one you're talking
wait.
about already?
To be honest, I haven't watched this show. Turning Red.
Yeah, neither have I.
Oh.
Because it's a Disney
It's
Plus
about this
exclusive.
little girl, right? That because of her because of a curse or a blessing, you can call it, in her bloodline, right? When she turns 13, whenever she gets too emotional, she'll turn into a red panda.
Oh, that's quite smart.
Yeah, it's very cute. Like it's a very well done, very cute movie.
Correct.
And,
Very cute. Yeah.
yeah, and they dive into the world of Asian culture. which
Correct.
is, like,
Asian
very-
family.
yeah.
Or rather,
Yeah.
Asian
But
Canadian
Chinese or
Asian
Korean
American
or
family,
what? Oh, like AB, like Asian and Chinese. Okay.
Yeah.
American Chinese.
Yeah. So you watched it lah. This is one of the few that you like really like watched.
Yeah,
lah.
this is one of the few I actually watched, and not because I wanted, but because we were in a family setting and everybody wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
So it's on the TV. Then you decide to watch. It was forced.
I'm trying to help
I
you.
got nothing to watch. I just watch.
Yeah,
I mean, then after that you watch, you're like, actually okay lah, 可以 lah. Then then we start researching, like, actually quite interesting. What is it trying to show? Then like they call it intergenerational burden. Like your parents, what they believe in, they will sort of pass on to you. Then you as a next generation, are you supposed to just take it in, or or you have your own ways of so-called coming to terms with it? Yeah. So I thought that was something very interesting.
And I also was gonna say like the cast, the voice acting is also like mainly is all like Asian people.
Asian.
So, yeah. Represent Pixar picking us up. The only thing is that it's not as popular because it was a Disney Plus exclusive. It didn't release in cinemas, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So it was like just a Disney, but it's still a great movie. Yeah. In terms of the hot streak of whether it's still above 95%, it is 95%. Hey.
Hey, I think the guy doing the ratings for Pixar film is like he works at Pixar, right?
95. But do you know how Rotten Tomatoes aggregated the score?
I have no idea.
It's like a bunch of reviewers, right? They give it a fresh or rotten rating. That's all.
Yeah.
So it's like out of this, like how many people, right? Is it fresh or is it deemed rotten? So it may not. So just because it's 98%, right, doesn't mean that.
So like 9 out of 10 people that can.
No, it doesn't mean that they voted 98%. It just means that 98% of it think of it as a good movie, of a fresh movie.
Okay.
Yeah, you get what I mean, right? Yeah. But it's very hard to get 100 or 98 or like 99 because it's consensus, like everyone thinks it's a good movie. You know what I mean? There'll always be like one rotten apple that'll be like, I don't like this movie or whatever. Yeah. That's why Toy Story 3, right? There was a lot of controversy around this thing because initially when it came out, the reviews, right, it's like everyone gave it a 100%. Then it's like, the trilogy all get 100%. Then got one dickhead here was like, I don't like it, it's a rotten. We get like 98%. What a dick. Yeah. All right, Zion, your next pick after Turning Red, what are you going to take?
Should I pick the movie that traumatized me, or should I pick the popular one?
Traumatized you?
What movie traumatized you, yeah?
I think there's a few.
Yeah. I was gonna say, right, at this point, right, the movie start to take a like a drop.
Yeah, you will take a downhill kind.
Yeah, it's not like a drastic drop, but like there's a drop lah. There's a clear like drop Yeah. Okay. What are you gonna take?
Okay, I shall pick Luca.
Oh, interesting.
I also, you know what? I also have not watched.
Yeah, okay, this is the one movie I have not watched. Yeah.
Disney Plus
I also haven't watched this movie yet.
This is also Disney Plus. Yes, correct.
All right, guys.
Not released in Disney Plus.
Movie night. Let's go, Luca.
Yeah, Turning Red and Luca back to back. Yeah. Good.
But this was the movie that scarred me.
Why?
Why? If it's nice, then don't spoil.
Okay, honestly, it's how to say if I tell you all the point that scarred me, right, then I would be spoiling the movie for you already. Okay, so the thing I like about the movie is that the setting, like it's not like how to say, it's like in a very backward country, not country, like city in I think Mexico. Sorry, on the Italian Riviera. So it's an Italian city, and then it's about a friendship between a human being and a sea monster disguised as a human. Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah. So it's actually a heartwarming story. But maybe you guys go watch first, then you all can sort of guess where I was traumatized because I was very shocked to see this happen. I think to be more specific, it was this feeling of if I say this feeling, then will you spoil the movie for you? I'm very scared. If I say this, you'll spoil the movie.
How about we have spoiler alert warning now. So you have 1 minute to talk about what's going to happen.
Yeah, you can just say.
Okay, spoiler alert. Okay, guys, if you just fast forward 1 minute. Okay, go ahead, Zio.
Okay, so anyway, I was very shocked because there was betrayal in the movie. Yeah, because if I never remember wrongly, there was somebody chasing the two of them because suspected to be monsters or what lah. But once the main character was faced with the idea that he might be caught, right, he turned around and look at his friend who's a monster and then shout monster. Then I stunned, I'm like, wow. First time I see betrayal in animation, then I wasn't prepared for it. Yeah.
First time I see betrayal in animation.
Then I'm like, oh my god,
sure or not?
This was like for kids.
Yeah. I think the first time I saw betrayal animation is Lion King. When Scar into the
yes.
Yeah, that is like
or maybe because for this the betrayal came so unexpectedly.
Sudden, yeah.
Like Lion King, I sort of saw it coming, then I felt sad. But I cannot say that I didn't see it coming. But this was really the first time I'm like, wow, the scene stunned there. I was also stunned. I'm like, huh?
Interesting pick though. I think that these two Disney Plus exclusive, right? We have to go and like check it out lah.
Yeah, man.
Watch, Turning Red.
Watch Turning Red first lah. Luca is Luca. But I think Turning Red is the one that really more good reviews about it lah.
Okay.
Let me write that down. Turning red and
Yeah. Luca turning red.
Luca, Luca.
Movie marathon. You got a lot. You got a lot.
Luca Modric, but the K changed to C.
Luka Modric.
Yeah. He retired
just
from
lost.
international football today. Yeah.
Yeah, retired and lost.
Yeah.
That's
After he
sad.
lost the thing. All right. Luca, in terms of Rotten Tomatoes, okay, there's a drop off.
90?
We're no longer at the 95, but it's still a 91%.
damn.
Yeah, still a good movie. All right, Eldad, you are up next. What are you gonna take?
All right, this one is for me, and this is the movie that I feel that also put Pixar really on the map as a second animation. I'm gonna pick A Bug's Life.
Good pick.
Oh,
Good
nice
pick.
one.
Good pick. Hopper.
Nice one.
Yeah, good pick. Bugs
What
Life.
a pick.
It was the one of the few where it's like good villain, good
The villain
good
is
characters
scary,
or
man.
stories, good context.
He's a great villain. It's not just
Yes.
a good
Yeah, it's a
villain.
great villain.
great-
Yeah.
And then also like the Bugs part is also very like cute lah. Oh,
The what? Kevin Spacey.
butterfly? Yeah, Kevin Spacey, bro. I was gonna say right.
Yeah.
It's one of his most iconic roles ever because his voice right is so distinct and evil. You know what I mean, as a villain, like Kevin Spacey. Yeah, I think he was just like acting as himself, because in the end also.
You know when I was researching for this movie, right, I
Yeah.
come across a reviewer that say I don't know why this movie is rated G, because he said a lot of like bugs cruelty, then like animals dying this kind. He said I don't know why is it rated G.
Or G
Yeah.
means like the parents don't even need to be there, that kind, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
parents don't need to be there.
Okay.
No, it should be PG. Honest,
Yes,
Yeah.
it should be PG.
it should be
Yeah.
PG. Right? But everybody's favorite caterpillar, Heimlich.
Heimlich.
I'm a beautiful butterfly. Then the wing is like so small.
All right, Bugs Life, great pick. Okay, I'm up next. I'm torn because I think that the drop off here is going to be quite drastic. So I'm not sure. Do I want to take something that is like more what speaks to me or what I think is more popular? Because I think in terms of popularity, right, it's like really very popular. This movie towards then. I'm taking Cha-Chow. Lightning McQueen.
Cars.
I'm taking Cars. Yeah. I would
Nice
say that.
one.
Yeah. I would say that this movie Cars, it's not the how to say best
It's
Pixar
Ka-chow,
movie.
right? Ka-chow.
Yeah, ka-chow. Yeah, Owen Wilson lah. I wouldn't say it's the best movie, but I did have a lot of fun watching the movie as itself. I think also Mater is a very interesting and funny character, like the Mater. Yeah. What's the place called?
Radiator Springs.
Radiator Springs.
Springs.
And it just makes you question a lot of things like, okay, so do you know what I mean? Like, is there taxis? Like, what's the point of a taxi if everyone can drive?
Yeah, lah.
But it's also
These are like life questions, existential
no,
questions.
but also it's like basically it makes you realize, right, that every single car, right, can look like a face.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Lightning McQueen races, right? Is he driving or is he running? You know?
It's true, brother. Also, like, what's the
Yeah.
purpose of a plane? They don't need to transport people or anything. What?
Actually,
You know what I mean?
yes. Yeah. Only the Mac will transport him from like Grand Prix to Grand Prix. Right? Yeah.
No, but the thing is that I think for that one is because it's within America, the plane is more like cargo to go from one country to another.
Yeah.
Or like when they like race in other country, that kind of.
Yeah, but it makes you think, like, what's the point of a bus? Like, why?
We cannot get
I mean,
on.
why do you need a bus? You know what I mean? Like
Or maybe the
there's no
bus is
humans
like
inside.
maybe a bus is just.
But there was no bus inside the movie, right?
It's like van. They have
Right.
van lah. Yeah.
Yeah.
van
Maybe
lah,
the
but
van
there's
is
no
just like
bus.
a way to say that these are like stocky people. You know.
Oh, no. No, but actually there was a bus. There was a bus that fell asleep that was transporting Lightning McQueen. That's how he ended up already.
Yeah, that's Mac. That's Mac.
But
Yeah, it's
but
Mac,
Mac
yeah,
but
yeah,
Mac
Mac.
is a cargo truck.
But I was gonna say my favorite scene, right, in that whole movie, I think everyone's favorite scene, right, is when the little guy in the pit stop, the small,
Oh yes.
he throw the 4 wheels up in the air.
What's his name?
Like, oh, shit.
Faju.
Luigi.
No.
Cannot be Luigi.
Is it Luigi?
The Ferrari.
Faju or something. Yeah. Ferrari.
Ferrari.
Like,
No, is it no,
Ferrari.
not Luigi? Is it what was it? What was it?
Yeah, I can't remember. But in terms of that movie, it's not going to score as high, but I do think that it catered more to like younger kids. Like, because to be honest, like even now, also everyone like that, I still see people have the Lightning McQueen backpack or like the cars and stuff.
Yeah,
and
man.
also, I think because there's, I'll not say lah, but yeah.
You know the last part of Class 1 where they met the Ferrari is actually Michael Schumacher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
The voice of Michael Schumacher. Yeah.
like I don't know whether like if you ever have a chance to go to Disneyland in the US,
Yeah,
I'm not sure whether the land is still there. Right? Me and Media went that time. Right, there's an entire Radiator Springs in full view.
Yeah.
So the
like
entire
the same way it
Radiator
was made,
Springs.
Yes. Same way.
Yes, exactly the same.
So they have the
like
fountain with
the cone hotel, the diner, everything exactly the same.
Yeah, the petrol
fountain
station.
Then, like me and Media walked in and then both of us went like,
Like, wow, we're really in Radiator Springs.
we are really the same. And the thing is that like if you really no, it's not that. It's when you enter, right, you forget that you are actually in Disneyland in Radiator Springs. You in a portion of Disneyland only.
Yeah, you just remember that, hey, I'm in Radiator Springs, I'm in the movie, yeah, cars. Yeah. lah. And okay, but in terms of Rotten Tomatoes, not as high. Like it drops off quite a lot, 75%. But still fresh rating, but not as good as the other movies. But I do think that it's a popular pick. You know what I mean? Nah. All right.
Yeah.
Next up is Paul. You got back to back. What are you gonna take?
Oh no. I don't really know, sia. No. Okay,
Oh no.
I'm going to take this show which I watched in the cinema, I think 2 years ago. This show promotes like cultural diversity,
Oh,
which I like like quite. I enjoyed this show a lot, lah. And this show is called Soul.
great movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
Great movie.
I think it's like another underrated movie that a lot of people don't know, right?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, that was the thing. I was struggling between Cars and Soul because Soul as an adult, when you watch it, right, it speaks to you as an adult.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's a meaning of like, how to say, like if you keep worrying about the bigger things in life, right, you might lose focus of what are the smaller things that make life great. Do you know what I mean? Or you might lose like the relationships that you have that are just like in front of you that you don't value or don't find important. Yeah, great movie. Yeah,
That's when he fell in the drain, right?
yeah, correct. Yeah, he fell in the drain, then he died.
Yeah.
His soul got lifted out of his body. Yeah, a lot of people
And
are
then
like,
they had like those tiny beings.
I was gonna say, there's one scene in that movie, right, that really like, how to say, really will touch your heart, if you're an adult, I feel. It's the scene where he comes home and then he plays the piano.
Yeah.
And then he goes through like his life in that moment when he's playing the piano. And then it makes you realize like, oh yeah, actually, do you know what I mean? Life is so precious. And so like, do you know what I mean? Like, you have to go and value what's in front of you. Don't always look at the long term. Then you disregard the short term. Yeah, great pick.
Soul.
Great pick. Soul. All right, this movie has a very, very soulful rating with a 95%.
90.
Yeah, great pick,
95.
great pick. Soul. All right, your next pick, Paul, to round off your team.
This is tough.
Very tough.
Oh no, I really don't know. I don't know how to rank this few.
Yeah, it's like the next few is like what do I take? Do you know what I mean? I really don't know what
Like,
to
if I
take.
take this, is it strong?
really,
Is it strong
your
enough?
personal preference, really lah.
Okay. I'm going to take this this girl who shoots the arrow.
Oh, good pick.
Yeah, in red hair.
Yeah.
Brave. You know, I when this show came out, I got mixed up with the Sarah Bareilles song. The I wanna be brave. I just wanna see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, brave. The
Underrated.
brothers become the bear. Then the mother become the bear.
Yeah, then there's the time traveling witch that can like go through the doors and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Then everyone like as a Pixar theory thinks is Boo from Monsters.
Yeah. L and JY, you all watch Brave?
I go watch, but the thing is that I cannot really remember a lot.
Okay, so there was this scene, right, where she goes into the woods to find the evil witch.
Yeah.
And then this evil witch, right, has a painting on the wall. Or I won't say painting, like a wooden a carving made out of wood lah. And the image was Sully holding Boo's hand. Later I'll send you all the picture. Then
No, this one I know.
Yeah, this one was one of the conspiracy theories that me and Mida had.
Yeah.
So we were saying that actually the evil witch, right, is Boo.
Oh, yeah.
Because she still remembers like Sully from when she was a girl, like a small girl, yeah.
That movie has a great soundtrack. Like because they dive into the Celtic, like the Scottish.
Yeah, like the Scottish.
Yeah, the bagpipes and stuff like that. Like me and Elle, right, we went to Disneyland in the US. Then there's this thing in the US where they have, it's called the Fountain of, what is it? World of Color.
Yeah, World of Color.
World of Color, right? Where they'll like really have like a water show, and it's the best water show I've ever seen in my life.
Same.
But the whole time, right, when I'm watching the thing, my memory, right, the one that really sticks out to me, right, is the Brave, that part of the whole thing, because they play this Celtic song, and then they just go through the water motions, and then they shoot the arrow, right, then they fly through the water and stuff like that. I was like,
oh yeah, that one I remember.
Yeah, it's like the most memorable part of my whole time at Disneyland. I was like, I remember this world of like the world of music, the world of color. Yeah, great pick. All right. In terms of the movie rating though, Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't think it's a 90.
Not 90. No, lah.
It's still the first movie that does not hit 90.
No, mine also. Cast also.
Oh, Cast.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine is 75. But yours is slightly higher, 79. But still fresh.
Still,
yeah.
Depends on the bell curve. It may not be A1.
Yeah, the bell curve is very hard. Very steep. Yeah, but Brave, good movie. Okay, I'm up next. Okay, I was going to say Toy Story. What is that? I was going to say I wanted Soul as my last pick because that's more of a personal thing. Okay, so now I'm just going to pick
on the image.
Yeah, it looks nice on the graphic. Yeah, lah. But I'm just going to pick now what I feel is like the best that is available. And I'm going to pick Toy Story 4. Yeah. So, yeah. So, in terms of the movie itself, right, Toy Story 4, they wrap up Woody's sort of like story arc. So it's like they've been through the whole journey of Woody as a character, and then now he's like sort of like he can make his peace. Like he doesn't need to be in the series anymore. And I don't think in the future if they make any more Toy Stories, right, he will be involved as a character anymore. I don't think so. Correct? If I'm not wrong.
Kaboom.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Like if they do anything, right, they will probably do something with him and Bo Peep separately.
Yeah. But in terms of that movie itself, Toy Story 4, yes. Like I was gonna say Duke Kaboom.
Duke Kaboom.
Kaboom.
Paul's favorite character.
Yes, we Canada. Right?
Yeah, yes, we Canada. Yeah. And also like they it's the first Pixar movie that got like a bit of like horror elements in the
the doll, right?
Yeah, the ventriloquist dummies and the dolls and stuff like that. They're like, a bit gross. Yeah.
You know, in Disneyland in US now, right? Apparently, when you buy Toy Story merchandise, you look under the boot of the toys, right? It says Bonnie. It doesn't say Andy anymore. You know?
Oh,
is it?
Yeah, that's why when I saw it, it's like, oh, the end of an era.
No, but is it written Bonnie now under the shoe? Under the
Bonnie.
But I was gonna say, right, like in terms of the Toy Story series, I do think that is the weakest out of the 4. But,
yes, I agree.
But I also feel that it's the best of the rest now because the rest I don't think is as good as this Toy Story 4. Yeah, in terms of the Rotten Tomatoes score, it's still got 97%. Yeah, released in 2019. Yeah, Toy Story 4, 97%. Okay. Next up, Eldad, what are you going to take?
Okay. I'm going to just take what I feel like is probably one of the funniest scenes in a Pixar movie ever.
Yeah, I know the exact movie you're talking about.
I'm gonna take The Incredibles 2.
Yeah, and you're talking about the scene where Jack fights the raccoon, right?
Yes, Jack fights the raccoon.
I know the exact scene. The scene is hilarious.
The thing is that like, I remember like me, the three of us watched it together. Me, you, and Paul.
Yeah.
Then we watched it together. Then all of us were like waiting, right? Then suddenly he comes to the door, right? Then he sees the raccoon. Then suddenly he's on fire. then the raccoon. Then after you see the father sleeping, then you see the whole thing just running around in the background.
But I wish that they had written a different plot story. You know what I mean?
I think it was quite a weak plot, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't remember the villain. I just remember that
the villain was the guy in the that guy in the TV that
no, the TV. So they have to
illusion guy.
They were like brainwash or like do like the mind control on the superheroes when they wear the goggles.
I just know that Elastigirl was the main character this time lah, and then like Mr. Incredible was the one that had to like take care of the
father.
Yeah, be more of the father. In terms of the Rotten Tomatoes score, also still very high. Yeah, 90. Oh, let me check. Where is it? 93%. So still a high rated score. Incredibles 2. All right, Jin Yong, your last pick. What are you gonna take?
I feel very sad that Eldad took up, sort of messes up my pick. So now I don't know what to pick. So I've decided to go by the conventional way and search highest grossing Pixar movies.
Oh, okay.
Out of the top 5, this is the only one that hasn't been picked yet. I'm picking Finding Dory.
Finding Dory. Yeah. I'm Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, I'm Sigourney Weaver. Yeah, correct. How do you watch it, Jin Yong? The movie?
No.
Okay. So, but you
only watch Finding Nemo. Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess the title itself is explains the whole plot.
Yeah,
Finding Dory.
correct. Explains the whole movie.
Yeah, explains the whole movie itself. But I do feel that it's not as good as Finding Nemo.
It's not.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
But I know that
But I don't know why it's higher grossing than Finding Nemo.
I think because of the hype. Because of the hype behind it, all this. But in terms of the
last time
effects of this,
Finding
the
Nemo don't
effects-
have like
Yeah.
marketing.
Yeah, correct. But the effects, all this was quite well done. Like the octopus, right? Correct. The one that is like, wow,
The squid, right? That
that's
goes.
like we're going in and out. Then after it's like invincible, not invincible. Then it's like diving into stuff like that. I know like they spent a lot of time in the animation room. Like I think like years trying to figure out how to go and do the octopus or this one. Yeah.
Then they
But
got
I
the
can't
booger wheel, the booger wheels, right?
Yeah, the Booga Wheel also. Yeah, but I was gonna say, right, in terms of the movie, I can't remember the auxiliary characters as much as the first movie. Which probably says like they did not dive into the world as good as the first one. You know what I mean? Like exploring the world. Because the first one you can remember like Brucey, you can remember the turtle, you can remember the gill and stuff.
I only mainly remember the parents.
But Alan reprised this role. It was still okay. In terms of the Rotten Tomato score, 94%. So still high rated, yeah. 94%. Okay. Let's go and read off the teams first, and then we can talk about honorable mentions. I think the honorable mentions will be short lah, because like to be honest, you're just picking off what wasn't picked. Okay, so for Paul yourself, I was gonna Toy Story 2, Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, Soul, and Brave. Whew.
Yeah.
Okay, for myself is Toy Story, Inside Out, Ratatouille, Cars, and Toy Story 4. For L, it's Toy Story 3, Monsters Inc., Up, A Bug's Life, and Incredibles 2. And then for Ziyong, it is WALL-E, Coco, Turning Red, Luca, and Finding Dory. Okay, now let's talk about the honorable mentions. I think it's just more like the movies that we didn't pick. I would say that the only one that maybe none of us like considered was that is like in the top, like Monsters University. Like maybe.
No, I didn't think that was a good movie. I really didn't think that was a good movie.
I did not think that was a good movie also. Like, I just thought, I think Cars is a better movie than that movie.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Cars 1.
Yeah,
Not
Cars
Cars 2 and
Cars 1.
Yeah, Cars 2 and Cars 3 is like, ugh. Like what garbage.
I enjoyed Cars 3 though, but then more than Cars 2 lah. I
Cars
enjoyed
2
Cars
is
3.
the F1 one, is it?
I can't remember, bro. Cars 2 is the first Pixar movie that got a rotten score.
It's the Secret Agent one.
Yeah, 40%.
Yeah, Cars, then they because Cars 3 came out, Cars 3 they reverted back to the traditional racing style thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But I would say that the rest of the Pixar, I don't think like all of us watch. Like Good Dinosaur, do you all watch?
No.
It's
I
actually
didn't
quite
watch
a cute film, but I will not pick it.
Lightyear. I watched it, I didn't like it.
Lightyear, I watched it, right? I'm like, it went on, honestly, right? It went on a bit too long.
Do you know what the whole plot of Lightyear should have been? It should have just been him and that cat. That cat, I don't know what, that small cat thing that is like his like sidekick character. Instead of doing this like what Interstellar, what time travel nonsense, I did not. I was like, what are you trying to be like Christopher Nolan or something like that? Okay, then the last one that we did not pick was Onward. But I did not watch the movie.
I did not watch Onward also.
Yeah, I did not watch the movie.
Same.
Yeah. Okay. That's basically it. I was gonna say for this draft, I think it'll be quite competitive. Like we shall see lah. It'll be a competitive draft. I really think it might be quite.
I don't think so.
I honestly think right, it's like it's
whoever appeals to the
whoever appeals is really the one that's gonna be the one that's gonna go there already.
But interesting. Overall, that was a fun draft. That was our Pixar draft. Alright, that was our Pixar draft. If you enjoyed the episode, please remember to give it a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe. We have episodes that drops every Friday. But in the same time also, if you're into football, we have the Football Kaki that drops every Wednesday with Paul and Elle here. And also, if you're into just general live chat, scenario episodes and stuff like that, we have the Kobe Bro Show that drops every Monday. With myself and Brendan, and sometimes Paul and Sino, they will hop in. In the meantime also, if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to go and vote for your favorite team, which I think is going to be interesting for this draft, please head over to our Instagram page right now. You can head over to our stories and vote. Voting is open every Friday at 12 p.m. and closes the next day on Saturday at 12 p.m. as well. I'll be putting a slide for our Instagram page right about now. All right. In the meantime also, hope everyone is going to the cinema to watch Elemental. Yeah. Elemental. But in the meantime, remember
to keep warm because there's a draft coming.
You are a toy.
You are a child's plaything.
You're a sad little... What's the thing? You are a sad...
You are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity.
All right. Live long and prosper. Bye, boys. See y'all.
Bye.